Hey, what's up everyone? Alex here, back with another SAIO video, System Artificial Intelligence Othello video. So today we'll be covering about regression analysis. In a previous episode, I did briefly touch on the process of doing that. So let's say if I wanted to review maybe Ru2's game, he's an 8-dan player, and if I were to just click into one of the games, let's maybe select one of the games against a fairly strong opponent just to get a sense of the quality. Let's see. Maybe against the latest game, I guess, against the 2200 rated. So if we were to go to the menu option, and if we click on share, or maybe send, you can pick up the sequence here. So let's select this sequence, copy it, and then we can go to SAIO app, launch it, and then we just go to tools over here and insert line from clipboard, and it will kickstart the entire process of the regression analysis once the full sequence is launched. And then we can take a look at how the game went. So this game, I think Ru2 was playing as black, so it'd be interesting to kind of see the quality. So I'll just go over the basics of regression analysis. It's basically about inserting a full game sequence and running it on SAIO software backwards. So this is the kind of copy and insert line method. So, okay, sorry, Ru2 was actually playing as white. So you can see just based on this chart. So maybe let's just bring your attention to the chart first. So over here in the chart, you can see basically 0 to minus 24 was essentially the scale on the left. So at the start, when they count down the 60 moves, so in Othello, you have 64 squares on the board, and 4 of which are already preoccupied by the initial starting disc. So essentially, there are only 60 moves to be made by both players to complete the game, assuming there is no empty square at the end of the game. So essentially, the countdown always starts with the 60th move all the way down to the last move. So if you see a level line on the +0, it basically means that both players are playing a perfect book line up till maybe like the 12th move or so. So maybe give or take 6 move each. And then you can see Ru2 basically played maybe a variation of -4 over here, and slowly in a few moves later, Ru2 managed to get back some advantage. And I think Black made some mistakes over here, and then eventually the entire chart was kind of like a perfect lead game for White, which was Ru2. So Ru2 is a Japanese player, and he's one of the top few Blitz players, if not the top player in Blitz. So it wouldn't be surprised, I wouldn't be surprised to actually see this kind of a chart result, even against a 2200 player who's very strong. So let's look at the numbers, perhaps the right at the top over here. So you can see Black lost this 19, White lost this 15. Essentially means that how many discs you lost in terms of the mistakes. If you had played perfect, you would probably had gained that 19 discs instead of losing it. So you didn't play perfect, so you lost 19 discs. So if you take that, the XOT ratio over here at 1.46 for Black is actually a decent quality for a Blitz game, and White 1.15. So typically, the XOT basically means average loss discs per move. And of course, if that number is low, it's actually better for you overall in terms of your performance. So a low number doesn't necessarily guarantee a win, but it's generally always better to have a lower number because it just suggests that you're making fewer mistakes. And just for your information, if you, I mean, if you are just kind of starting out, you would probably expect your XOT to be somewhere between 2 to 3 in terms of even in slow games. Even in Blitz games, I would say if it's a huge variation in terms of the openings, even top players can get 2 to 3 if they are playing a bit too fast. And I would say if you're playing with a bit more thinking, I think 1.5 to 2 is very achievable. And I think 1 to 1.5, I would say you're already kind of stepping into the 2200 level and above. And if you're consistently playing under 1 or below, right now Ru2 played 1.15, given that he's the strongest Blitz player. and he still lost discs up to 1.15. If you're the very top player, you can probably expect to be playing anywhere between 0.5 to 1 consistently, even on a slow game. So interestingly, somebody made a study on Takanashi, the 5-time world champion. His games actually averaged across all his World Othello Championship to somewhere about 0.5 or 0.6. So that's an outstanding ratio. It almost means that he's barely making any mistakes in his entire games. In fact, somebody did tell me that one of his World Othello Championship, he went almost like close to just a handful of mistakes, just a few mistakes throughout the whole entire tournament of some 17 or 18 games. So that's pretty amazing. So a little bit more on regression analysis. If you look at the top, it's basically the entire sequence of move. And the ones in red basically means that it was a game-changing result. So over here, it was actually Ru's variation as white, even though it's a game-changing result from +0 to -4. It was usually the first red line could also mean a variation on either player's part. And of course, a blue line is basically a mistake by black over here, +2 instead of +4 being the best, but it's not a game-changing result, so it's just in blue words. So yeah, it's not highlighted in red. So it was only up to this move, move 42, which is essentially 18 moves on each. 18 moves in total and 9 moves after that. Black actually make a game-losing mistake, highlighted in red, and thereafter you can see. White basically led entirely for the whole game. It's just that over here, black consistently lost a couple of this, white lost a couple of this, but all of them were not game-changing or not a game result-changing mistake. So it was just a kind of a flat line lead, perfect lead game for white all the way to the end, right to the bottom. So that's basically how you read the regression analysis. And yeah, hopefully this video has been useful and you can use the regression analysis to study your games. So if you wanted, let me just quickly go back to the game and let's just reset this board here without the sequence. So just go to reset board. Reset the board. So let's say if you wanted to do regression analysis by manually inputting, you would hold on game mode, just hold on to it for a couple of seconds, and then release it. It becomes free mode. So that's how you kind of activate free mode. And then if you wanted to input a game manually, like let's say if you just wanted to do regression analysis on a manual game, what you would do is just input the entire sequence this way, and then essentially, run it after you've completed the game. So let me just do a quick demonstration, perhaps, just for the sake of showing you guys how it works. So yeah, I'm just clicking through the sequence, so don't mind me here. It's just creating a game sequence just for the analysis purpose. So let's just click through. So, oops, I favorite for black, basically. So after you've completed the game and it's still in free mode, you can just simply tap on free mode and it will automatically start the regression analysis. So this is more like the manual way of activating regression analysis. So there are two ways. One is you copy a line of a completed game and you insert it into the sequence and it would run it. If not, you can hold on to the free mode, the game mode, and hold on to it for a couple of seconds, change it to free mode, input the manual sequence, and this is what you get. After you've completed the sequence, just tap on it, and it'll start the analysis. So over here, you can see, again, black, I favorite black a little bit better over here. So black played at 1.04, white played at 2.16. So a couple of game-changing mistakes. If you just bring up the chart, you can see there was a game-changing error over there by black. So after that, it was mostly black leading. So yeah, so this is basically regression analysis, and I hope this video helps you in your usage of the SAIO app. Yeah, so go ahead and download the app, run this analysis for yourself. The regression analysis is fairly strong, especially if you have the full library. It's extremely useful to kind of learn the right move or the right best move with some confidence. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.